you have a bathroom over here, another bathroom over here, say for example, and there's an overhead time, there's a downliner which is coming, and there's a tapping which is going inside each house. We'll cut the pipe, put the meter over here, connect them in a daisy chain. There's one cable which goes from meter to meter, that's one cable, 4 cable, 2 carries data and 2 carries power. And on the rooftop we place an aggregator which is a very small box aggregator inside. And it has a communication module. That's how the nucleus. Now we'll also power this with a solar panel plus a battery. Now each meter has its own independent battery also as well. So this is an absolute independent system from any kind of resource from the apartment complex.
Tell me one thing.
Sir.
So this is 1 meter is connected to each flat. No?
Yeah.
It's not 1 unit. The daily chain does not link all the things together to one single interface.
It does, because that gets converted into an aggregator. Now each meter has its own independent ID.
Each meter is independently working.
Yeah. So say for example,
individually, collectively work together.
so they work independently. Because see, what is the simpler way of handling this? In any case, your flat number is unique A101, for example. In that, if I have put 3 meters, 1, 2, 3 for that matter, so serial number 1, 6 or 9 even for that, are mapped to your flat.
So there will be 3 meters in one flat.
Not necessarily, I'm just going through that. So I'm
Just an example.
just giving an example. If there are multiple meters also, because each of them are mapped against your flat, so you will be able to see your consumption only. Holistically as well as individually. Means for a complete flat as well as individual utilities also. You can see that.
Okay, that's good. So only the flat owner can see the usage.
You can see your own consumption completely as well as segregated consumption. Sir can see for his own flat, but at a facilities level, he will be able to see the complete consumption of your house. He will not be able to see the breakup. Because that's your personal data, so that is up to you only.
So as and when the data is generated, basically the consumption, you push it to the top floor unit, and
Yes, sir.
that is uploaded to the cloud.
Correct, sir. That's the way it happens.
Okay.
So
So don't store the data locally.
we don't.
You don't.
No. Nowadays, means in fact, the cloud layer probably becomes more economical to handle this kind of situations. Otherwise, we setting up all this kind of data servers and all, it's a costly affair. It's better we use cloud computing to handle this kind of situation. And we use Google and AWS servers. So the uptime is 99.9, which is very decent. Now, this is how it looks like, and this is for my apartment, which is an HSR layout. So if you can see, I have consumed 465.0 liters for the day. Now, if I want to see, as my maid comes between 6 to 8, she's consumed 56 liters. Between 7 to 8 is 199.0 liters. Now, if I talk at it like this, you can see I spent 51 rupees 15 paisa for the day for my water, because for my apartment it is absolutely dependent upon tankers. We don't have Kaveri, we don't have borewell. Now, I can also see the history. This week how much I consumed. Say on 28th how much I consumed. 27th you see the numbers changing in the smaller circle. So you can see that data. I can also see this month how much I consumed. February, January. I can see all those values through my mobile app itself. If I talk at it like this, I can also do a goal setting, wherein let's say for example if I set up a threshold of 500 liters for my flat, and if it crosses I come to know as an alert, that is also possible. More to it, if there is any kind of leak happening, say continuous flow of water for 40 minutes or water flowing to an extent of 100 liters, I get a notification over here, plus a notification over here, plus an email notification. Now if I don't respond or even ignore it, that goes as an escalation to the facilities who is managing the property. More to it, I can simply go to valve control, hold this for 5 seconds, and the water supply at my house and HSR shuts down in next 2 minutes. If I am having a valve which is in place.
If I need to be in like in the same remote or the distance. So what is the distance coverage? I can be in remote anywhere.
Anywhere across the world, sir. It's mobile connectivity.
Wi-Fi.
At the time you have no Wi-Fi, mobile connectivity.
Okay.
If you are having internet on your mobile, it's good. Anywhere across the world you can do it.
So
And then,
the valve is optional, right?
Yeah, that's an option.
That's an option.
Yeah.
So, from the current issue what we had in the meter, okay? So we had a meter set it up in the base, in the lower tank.
Supply side.
Supply,
Yeah.
okay? That meter is always getting rusted or the dust was formed and all those things. So how about this?
Okay, as I said earlier, this is the polymer based meter, and what you have been using so far in your supply side is a conventional water meter.
Exactly.
Now that's a metal-based meter. That will have an implication of the rust.
Okay.
Can we change another?
So means in fact, see that rusting is because of the hardness. There is no way I can use
Even
gold.
in the water, some dust. If the water has a dust particle, if that comes in, how it's going to be handled here?
So means in fact you have a WTP in place.
Yes.
Water treatment plus. I'm using the similar meters in those apartments which are absolutely dependent upon tankers. They don't know what shit they are getting.
Okay.
And means it's a fact. We never know, and we don't even want to see what we are getting and from where we are getting, because even a simple test whether to know that water is drinkable. Forget about your RO dip test which they do. Those guys they perform a gimmick. It costs you 2,500 for one single test. 30 parameters to know whether water is drinkable or not. That's a huge amount. Means till the time it's behind the curtains, we are happily drinking it. I can show you photographs of site. I have seen, we have done tests for one of an apartment community. They were happily drinking equally. We found traces. Till the time it's not noticed, good. The day it gets noticed, then it becomes bad. Now the other worst scenario is they cannot do anything much. The entire area is drinking.
Yeah, correct. And do we need to do some routine cleaning activity or
Nothing,
something?
sir. Okay. Now it's a very simple thing. The basic questions which I come across in most of the meeting is accuracy. So our meters are smart enough to give you real-time data. So at any given point of time, if you have an issue pertaining to the accuracy, probably pull up a standard bucket which is there in your house, 20 liters. See on the app whether it's showing 20 liters or not. If it is, good for you. If not, just raise a ticket. Next time my boys will come, have a look, and required, change the meter and go ahead.
Change the meter? Change the meter?
Replace the meters.
Replace the
That
meter.
is the problem.
Yes,
If we find a problem.
that alone can be replaced. That meter alone can be replaced.
Yeah, we just remove this meter, put another one and
And it will connect to the existing.
yes. See, tomorrow if the meter turns faulty also, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll just replace and do it.
From a warranty perspective, like, what is the warranty on the?
Okay. And do you have any other questions pertaining to the structural dynamics or the metering part? Otherwise, we'll move to the commercial part, which will give you a much better clarity.
Then in your quotation, you had given two things, right? This is like what you showed is like as it is, whatever we have,
Yeah.
the current setup.
Yeah.
You mentioned that is the replumbing. If you do the replumbing,
That is restructuring your entire apartment community in such a way that each flat requires 1 meter.
okay.
Yeah. So what will happen is, say, if you see there are no ducts which are right now over here, so probably you'll see in the ducts, inside the ducts, what will be there is one pipeline which is coming down, then there is a tapping.
Correct.
When you do replumbing, then in that case, 5 pipelines will start from the top.
Each
4,
unit
3,
will
2, 1. So that would be a dedicated line for it.
And
But
then you will put a meter on the top.
correct. That's the way it happens. But then that's an expense. There's an expense towards doing replumbing also for that matter. So which you have to look into. So the good part over here is
There are two quotations shared in the quotation.
That's an optional switch. That is like if it is
there are 2 ways through which you can go for these water meters. One is an outright purchase model. Straight away you can buy everything. The second model is a services model. So if you are willing to buy the meters, then in that case, the meter which is of DN15 size will be working around 7,400 to 99. The one which is with valve, wherein you can also shut down the water supply, is for 9499. There is another size which has to be deployed in your property, which is DN20, which is 1 notch higher as far as the size is concerned. That is 8499 and 10499 on an outright purchase. Now, outright purchase is majorly preferred by the developers because they are in turn selling the property to a prospective buyer. Apartments prefer to go for a services model because of the low entry cost. Now, if your plumbing structure is CPVC, for a DN15 size of meter, you just need to pay me 1800 plus tax as a one-time setup fee per meter.
What is CPBC?
Plastic.
Okay.
And if you require a DN20 meter, then you have to pay me 2500 plus GST as a one-time setup fee per meter.
What is the difference in 15 and DN25?
Okay. Now this, you can see this is DN15.
Okay.
And if you see this dia, this is DN20.
This is the diameter.
Diameter.
Correct. So you can understand means in fact the size of the meter would vary.
That would include velocity of water, volume of water. That is the direct process for this.
Yes, because the structural dynamics are such that at some places I have to use DN20, that will is in fact helping you to reduce the number of meters as well.
So what is recommended for our society?
Both. Usually in most of the apartments it's a standard of DN15. But as an exception we see that there is a possibility of reducing the number of meters. Say for example, in many places we find that kitchen, bathroom and bathroom 2 in a 3 BHK are nearby.
Yeah.
So rather than putting 3 distinct meters which is of DN15, I am saying I will combine them and put 1 meter which is DN20. So you don't have to put 3 meters, I will put 1. And why I am increasing the dia? So that the pressure is equally there the way it is. Okay, so it's at the end of the day saving some money on that. So rather than 1800 plus tax into 3, you are just paying 2500 plus tax into 1, which is good for you. Now that's one way of handling it. Now if you refer the smaller brochure, there are 4 services plan being offered to you. Starting from 45 rupees a meter a month, 60 rupees a meter a month, 90 rupees a meter a month, and 120 rupees a meter a month plus tax. Now each plan offers a different set of services. In a 45 rupees plan, what you get is a daily SMS of your consumption and monthly bills. In a 60 rupees plan, it's mobile app, live data, leak alert. In a 90 rupees plan, it's mobile app, live data, leak alert plus control. You can also shut down the water supply of your house. And 120 is controlled but more of a value-added services. Now in this case, the minimum contract would be 10 years, maximum 15 years. During this period, you don't have to avail any AMC as AMC is already factored in the services fee. Anything goes wrong with the meter, we would end up repairing or replacing it without any charge. There would be a standard increase in the services fee annually by 5%, so 45 next year it becomes 48 for you. Or 60 will become 63. That's how it is, simple as that.
So every year it keeps increasing.
5% only, sir. 45 का 3 रुपए बढ़ गया 48 rupees.
And 45
Every year they increase by 5%.
45 rupees per
Meters per month.
meter per month.
Yeah. Depending upon the number of meters to be desired.
So 2 questions now. One is like when we are talking about the, like let's say we get a go for a DN15 meter.
Correct, sir.
So it is 7499 and whatever is the initial
Outright purchase.
Outright. Now if we kind of go with this and let's say I kind of take a 60 rupees.
Correct.
So in that case I have to pay like 1499 for the same meter upfront once.
No, 18. No.
18, okay.
See, if you are buying this meter, then you pay 7499 or 9499 respectively. If you are not buying it, you are just paying me 1800 plus GST as a one-time setup fee. When you buy, you also pay me for the installation. Wherein this 1800 installation is already factored.
Okay.
So, which is anyways good for you.
So that from a warranty perspective, like what is the warranty period if it's outright purchase?
You get a 12 months of on-site warranty, and after that you have to pay me 30 rupees a meter a month as an AMC.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I'll run through a basic calculation. Probably you'll be able to relate it much easy. Why, as an RWA, you are in a benefit, and how I am able to give you this offer. Now, my investor is Macquarie Bank. That's an Australian bank into infrastructure lending. Correct. Now, let's take for example, you go for a meter which is on an outright purchase. You pay me 7,500 plus installation cost. Now, let's take 7,500 as a value only for it. If you put it in a latest investment, which is a fixed deposit, will it double in 10 years? So 7,500 becomes 15,000. Let's keep it aside. Now, let's take for example, you go for a 60 plan. 60 into 12 is how much? 720 into 10 years is how much? 7,200. If you do a 5% escalation, you will land up lesser than 15k. Why I am able to do this is because I am getting my funds from Macquarie. If I would have gone to State Bank of India or any other Indian lender, probably I would have ended up charging you more. Macquarie's cost of fund is less. That's the reason why. So choice is yours. You pay me right now, good for you. If you pay me in a different manner.
So from a perspective of warranty, in case if we go for the
Outright
thing,
purchase.
not outright, but the other one, the services model. In that case, if there is any mechanical fault in the meter, it is on to and nothing on the.
So even on an outright purchase also, if you are paying me AMC, which is 30 rupees a meter a month, it's my responsibility. Either of it.
So both ways it is fine. Like it's not like this one is a very bad plan, this one is a very good.
So both of them. See, it's all about keeping as a plan for future income. Okay. Then you can do that maths. Probably you'll come across that rate.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Write down the two plans basically, services and outright purchase.
Surely, sir.
And the prices for DN15 and DN25.
Yeah.
slow clean.
Saturday again you're taking a class. I'm inside the class.
Clear? Clear. This is how it is on an outfit, which is 30, 30, 40, 40.
This is AMC.
Correct. This is AMC.
This is post the first year.
Yeah. 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. Correct. Plus installation.
Is it per meter basis?
Yeah, per meter basis. Because there is no standard as far as the Indian structure is concerned that how many. In others, I had to install 7 meters in a flat also because that's the way they have structured it. So basically, it went like 2 BHK 3, 3 BHK 4, 2 BHK penthouse it was 5, 3 BHK penthouse it was 7. So I had to install those many number of meters. There are other classic examples. They have got 9 also. You go to Mandir Ispana, they have 9. JLSC at Ali Askar Road, where Mohandas Pai and Kiran Madam have flat over there. They have got 16. Out of it, 14 are like with the head walls. 2 are exposed.
So do we have 5% in that? Like 300 by implement?
So obviously means AMC would increase. AMC 30 rupees is as of now.
No, what I was asking is for the 40 and 60 rupees, like it will increase every year by 5%.
Correct, sir.
So here also do we have that?
AMC will also increase. You go for an RO AMC probably it is X right now, X plus 10 would be the next year. Now, let's say for example you go for a services model. Now I'm again just extending this chart over here. Fine. So, for a DN15, I'm just writing over here 1800 plus GST. For a DN20, it would
GST कितना है?
Sir, GST 18% है सर.
नहीं है, कम नहीं है इसमें बड़ा.
सर सर्विसेज में आ गए ना. हमने बोला था उससे बात की थी. We went to Amitabh Kant also. Okay. We tried to catch up with Mr. Jaitley also for that matter. Amitabh Kant अभी कुछ नहीं, वो इतनी सारी चीजें हैं, बाद में बहुत होता है, बाद में देख लेंगे. So there are 4 plans: 45, 60, 90, and 120. This is with valve plans where you can shut down. This is without.
So irrespective of the DN15 and 20, we can go with 45, 60, 90.
Yeah, you are paying. Difference is there in the one-time setup fee.
Okay.
1800.
That is fine. So the plan what I am asking, the 45, 60, 90, 120.
Correct.
It
remains
independent
constant.
of DN50 and
Yeah. Exactly. So wherever DN20 is applicable, we put DN20 over there. Okay, and we will have to keep on this. Now 4 plans are there with valve and without valve. Now a standard 5% increase is there. This is 5 only. Means people should not assume to. बाद में भगा दिए जाएंगे.
Plus this thing also, right? This includes this also. We have to pay essentially this.
That's the number.
45, 60, 90, 120. 45 into the number of meters, 60 into the number of meters, 90 or 120 into the number of meters.
इसके अंदर installation cost रहेगा.
Sir, factor, 3 factor, 1800 plus GST लगवाई.
Fixed है.
कुछ और सिविल लॉस तो नहीं है.
Yeah.
मुझे लगा नंबर ऑफ लीटर्स.
सर मैं रईस हो जाऊंगा, मैं दूसरा अंबानी होगा मैं यार. बैंगलोर में तो हो सकता है. अच्छा, अब आपको क्या एक्स्ट्रा लगेगा इसके अंदर में मैं वो बताऊंगा. अब मान के चलिए मैं आपका किचन बाथरूम 1, बाथरूम और 2 यहाँ पे हम इसको जोड़ रहे हैं. ठीक है, हम इसको 3 मीटर लगाने की बजाय 1 मीटर लगा रहे हैं. बरोबर है. अब इधर 2500 लग रहा था हमारे को 1 मीटर लगाने का. तो यानी कि हमने 1800 इंटू 3 प्लस GST की बजाय 2500 प्लस GST 1 दे दिया.
Can we just speak in English itself because
Sure. So I have kitchen, bathroom 1 and bathroom 2 which is nearby. Rather than putting 3 distinct meters, I am simply suggesting, boss, I can combine them and make it 1. So rather than you paying me 1800 into 3 plus GST, you are just paying me 2500 plus GST. That's for the higher notch size of meter because that will handle the pressure and even the water flow because the dia is high. Now, doing this, there is a certain cost which is there, which is typically called combining charges, which we have mentioned in the as a line item, because I have to put extra effort as far as labor and material is concerned to combine them and make it one.
And what's the charge?
Approximately, it works around say 900 to 1,000 rupees. That's the one-time fee, because in any ways you are saving from 5,400. It's just coming to half for you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have paid me rental for 3 meters continuously.
This is for 3 BHK. B1, B2 plus we have to go for another meter for 3.
Which is like B3 plus one solar line. Solar, are you guys using?
No, solar is
Only for a few flats.
उसमें एक suggestion है, देखिए उसके अंदर में solar is just a method of getting an approval from BBMP. It's a team. I don't know whether you guys how many years old this building is.
This is 3 years.
3. Another 2 years you can use solar. Then after 5 years the equipment will like come down.
Sorry? 4 years.
You can use for another 2-3 years more maximum. Right? Equipment खत्म हो जाएगा सर.
Subsidy on the equipment.
lifetime.
Lifetime.
Solar cells.
Oh, okay. Really?
It's choice. It's a choice whether you want to put a meter over there or not.
What is the advantage of the solar cell? If you use it with a meter, it will be like independent.
No. Means I'm saying if you want to put up a meter on that line or not is your call.
There is a separate pipeline, right? So you would.
That also goes from the common pipe, right? So you
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah, means as I
Like
said,
kitchen
it's your
line, there
call.
is one more
See,
line for the
it's
solar.
a line which is extra. Either you continue using it or you can shut it down.
Huh.
If you are
Right.
getting solar, if it is good for you, if it is being useful, I don't have any issues. You can definitely.
You
put
don't
it.
install the solar for this thing. You don't separately install solar for the
Which solar?
Solar.
So I am simply saying there is a line where the solar water is running.
Okay.
Do you want to install a meter on that or not? That's what I am asking.
No, it has to.
Yeah, come.
They are also getting water from the normal connection.
the line and you want to
Whether they are using
you want to add the meter to that line, it's like that.
Yeah.
But that line should be solar.
That is already a solar line.
If it is a solar line, you have to add
That's because somebody will be consuming water from that line. The gravitational force applies most on the ground floor. So you are always getting more thrust of water. If you would have been into an absolute high-rise situation, probably you would have put TRVs so that they can hold the pressure of it. Ground floors are like least bothered about it. They will any day get good pressure.
So how will the meter complement that holiday?
It is just that I am extending. See, I am just putting water. It's a channel where the water is running through. Nothing is happening beyond that.
It's a channel, but okay.
So I am just putting. See,
No, but
this
the
is a
pressure-
pipe, and over here is another pipe. It is just an extension between that pipe, which is counting how much has passed through. That's it. Nothing is happening.
The pressure is independent of it.
Is it? Yes, exactly. That's a pressure is independent of it. That depends upon the tank. How means what's the distance of the tank in your room? That is anyways.
I might be wrong. I'm not.
No, sure.
I feel like I'm wrong, but I just feel that if there's more pressure coming in through a pipe, the amount of reading in the meter would be directly proportional to that.
No. Because why? There is a chamber inside. So, as what sir said, correct, it's a volumetric displacement meter where there is a fixed chamber and that much quantity of water moves.
That is the pipe.
Okay, there is one more question over there.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that there's some location tablet under which there's something called KMBU. Case line.
Kitchen, bathroom and utility.
Kitchen?
Bathroom and utility. M. So there is a Kaveri line also in the kitchen maybe. Two lines are there. Kitchen has a standard doorway line and a Kaveri line. Normally builders used to do it earlier. The reason being they assume that they'll get Kaveri, but it never happened. Now I'll tell you one classic issue. Ma'am? Utility. Now yes. B3 is bathroom 3 and WB is wash basin. An example I'll refer you, one of Sobha properties in 2018 December they have paid 4.25 crores for applying for a BWSSB connection. With no guarantee that how much water will they get.
So we are already in a process. Like we did some, the background work on the Kaveri water. Okay, it wasn't a flat. Then we stopped it. We are not moving.
So I'm
Move further on that.
Means I was surprised to see that kind of money being spent to get Kaveri water 4.25 CR.
Yeah.
And then to know guarantee.
I also got
He has paid 2.5 crores. And they have returned it back to the society of crores.
Mind boggling.
No, here also they got something. The question is, so now you have a Kaveri line as well as the borewell line on the kitchen. There are two lines. Now when you are applying a meter, the meter will be applied only on the borewell line or the Kaveri line?
I can combine all three.
Okay, tomorrow, hypothetically, if we get if we get the Kaveri, it has to be excluded, right?
Why?
Empty, no. There is no measurement.
My question is, why do you want to do this? Let's take, for example, your daily need is somewhere about 2 lakh liters.
Okay.
Now, Kaveri gives you 10,000 liters. What will you do of that? What will you, means exactly what will happen is you'll pour it into the same sump, utilize that water.
Correct.
It will not be a segregated line.
Okay.
Now, when it was done,
But the price is different, right?
Sir,
Kaveri water line.
कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, बड़ा सिंपल सा है. मैं उसका तरीका बता देता हूँ. You have a web interface where you can set up your tariff. Now I have got 3 different sources. One is Kaveri, which is my cheapest. Second is borewell, which is the second cost.
I think he was asking how will you include something that is not coming in.
I'm giving him the complete scenario. I got his question. Third is the borewell. So my cheapest is Kaveri. Second is borewell. Kaveri works around 0.015 paisa a liter.
Correct.
Borewell is 4 paisa a liter. Tanker is 10 paisa a liter. Now Kaveri is 0.015 as water is concerned. That's it. How many borewells do you have? 2.
We have 2 borewells.
Borewell, not well.
Without water.
So you end up paying 50 rupees per borewell into 2, which is 100 bucks per flat as a fixed charge. You have to pay that to the BWSSB. So means if there are 200 flats, 200 into 2 into 150 rupees is what you would be paying as a fixed charge for the borewells, whether functional or not. Then there is an additional charge which is of sanitation charge. That is what you have to pay, because till the time you have borewells, you don't have Kaveri. Government is just keeping themselves warm, keep on using it. The day they'll provide their water, they'll charge you every
Even for the borewell.
if it is non-functional also.
Oh.
That's how the scenario is. So that's a darker side which will come to know later on. Then once you apply for it. Now, say I got 10,000 liters from Kaveri. Just 2 of us are staying over here. Irrespective of our family size, our first slab would be 0 to 5,000 liters at 0.015%. Now, if you are staying alone, I am staying with 5 family members. Obviously, I will reach my slab earlier. I will move to which slab? Borewell. You are still at Kaveri. Good for you. So you can set up a slab method in the web interface. You just need to know how much is the yield from Kaveri. Anything above that is like tanker or borewell. That slab will hit.
Yeah.
It's like a Westcom bill.
Right.
The first set of units is like at a economical rate. Then you reach slabs, you pay on more.
So this is one question actually
Sir.
is with regards to the pressure, right? So after fixing this equipment, irrespective of the flow, have you guys seen any change in the pressure that we kind of get in the tap?
That's a valid question, sir. See, choice-wise, I am suggesting you that you can actually reduce it and put 1 meter over there. Now, rather than putting a DN50 size of meter, I am myself saying that first put a DN20 size of meter, because you should not face those kind of problems. Now, what happens is at a given point of time, you will not open 3 inlets at one go, or maybe all the bathrooms or all the kitchens will not get open. I am just combining 3 inlets. I could have done it with DN15 also. I can do it still. If you insist, I'll do it with DN15. But as a customer, there is a long-term relationship, and then to getting the right thing to be there in the market, I am suggesting go with DN20, just to handle those pressure issues. So you can see the dia difference which is there. Now, if I am getting one connection over here, but I am just using this size of dia, I am getting 3 lines, it's still good for you, because you will diameter here, which is 3/4 inch. 3/4.
DN20 is?
DN20 is used in 1 inch pipelines. Means in fact I am increasing the dia so that you get more water, and if you open taps simultaneously.
Okay, coming to these packages,
Correct, sir.
the Comfort will have real-time data, where the Essentials and Essential Plus doesn't have the real-time.
You are getting app on the Essential Plus, so you'll get real-time data over there also.
So real-time data is included.
Bar with the first plan where you get a daily SMS of your consumption and monthly bills, rest is all real-time. So 90 and 120 are their batches, sir.
Yeah. so one question actually. So let's say like I kind of say like, okay, I want only the essential plan.
Correct.
Let's say Saurabh wants the comfort plus.
It's
Is that
going
possible?
to be a mess for you to collect those kind of funds.
No, I understand.
किसी के घर से 45 लेने जा रहे हैं, किसी के यहाँ से 60 लेने जा रहे
I
हैं.
understand that, but what I'm kind of asking is like from your perspective, is this mix and match possible?
I can definitely do it, but means in fact so far none of the apartment community has done.
I'm just kind of asking for.
Yeah.
We can. But normally people go for one single common plan all across.
Which makes sense.
Yes, definitely. Any other questions?
So, in respect of whatever plan you take, that is set like the Kaveri water and all that mapping can be done, right? That's a
Not
basic.
the web interface, sir. That's there applicable for all. It's just like planning my resources. So I have 3 resources, and means in fact the point is whatever resource I have, whether it is Kaveri or borewells, everybody has an equal right on that, irrespective of the size of the flat, irrespective of the number of members. So if I'm getting 10,000 liters and you are staying alone, I am staying with 7 members also, although my consumption would be higher, but I am getting equal quota. Now I have to live within that. And obviously if I breach that, I would be charged more. So now for example, just 2 of us are having saying, you have a 5 kVA load sanction, so do I. Obviously your electricity bill is less, mine is more, because I am consuming more. I've got more people in my house to use that. So I pay high, you would be paying low. Why not in water then? So it's absolutely bringing fairness into your entire billing system.
Yeah.